27, graph the line and give the domain and range. Well, this is very similar to number 26. Again, we've been given the equation of a line, y equals -4. We only have one variable. We only have a y. There is no x and y. And so this means this is a special kind of line. This variable here, the single variable that we've been given, tells us which axis, the y versus the x, our line is going to cross. And because it's a y, it means it's going to cross the y-axis. Where does it cross the y-axis? Well, at the value -4. So let's go ahead and plot that intercept right there on the y-axis at -4. This is a horizontal line, and so to graph this line, all we have to do is sketch a horizontal line through that point, -4, here on the y-axis. So we've graphed the line. Now we need to give the domain and range. Well, if this graph goes to the left forever and to the right forever, what are the x values doing as it goes out to the left? Well, they're getting smaller on the part of the graph we can see, but as it continues, that line continues out to the left, these x's are getting smaller forever out towards -infinity, right? It goes on forever. Well, similarly, the x values as we go to the right are getting bigger, aren't they? And if they go on forever, well, they're going to go out towards +infinity. And so there we have the domain for our line. How about the range? What are the y values of this graph? Well, the only y value that this graph will ever have over the entire domain is, looks like -4, right? And so we'll put -4 in brackets, and there we have it, the domain and the range for y equals -4. Let's go ahead, since we haven't looked at one, let's do a little example. Let's pretend that the line they gave us was, I don't know, how about x equals 3? So this is going to be our little example here. Well, again, if we're only given a single variable in the equation of our line, this should send up some red flags for you and go, this is different than what we're normally used to working with. In this case, in our example, because we've been given the single x as our variable, that tells us this line is going to intersect, is going to cross the x-axis. Well, where is it going to cross the x-axis? At +3. So we're going to go to +3, indicate where it's going to cross, and this is a horizontal line, or excuse me, vertical line rather. And so we will go ahead and make a little better line than that. Make a vertical line up and down right through the x-axis at +3. Again, what are the domain and range? Well, let's see. Domain refers to x's as we know, and we can see that the only x value that this graph, this red graph, will ever have is +3, right? There are no x values out here to the left. There are no x values out here to the right that this red line, this red graph will have. It's only +3. So our domain will be simply a +3 in brackets. But the range, however, well, the range we can see if this line goes up forever, goes down forever. As this line goes down, the y's are getting smaller, the y values are getting smaller, and they're getting smaller out towards what? -infinity. And as the y's go up, they're getting bigger towards +infinity. And so for our example here, x equals 3, we've graphed the line and given the domain and range. So there we have number 27 and a little side example.